All right. How's everybody doing today? It's Big Chonis. Thank you for joining me today on this another very interesting day in Bitcoin's price history. You guys can follow me on Twitter. I am Big Chonis. These are all my best ideas. I take technical analysis very seriously. I'm a crypto trader, an investor, a mentor, a chart psychologist. Please do your own research. I'm also a contributor to the Bitcoin Live platform as well. Very honored to be part of that. And listen, let's just get into it because we have a very volatile, once again, day in Bitcoin. We have broken intraday at least the 5K area. First time in over a year we've been sub 5K intraday. Currently finding support about $50 under our 5K region. So we are there. We did it. We have touched it. And now what? The bottom's in, right? Because this is what everybody, we touch 5K. We'll see a huge bounce. We'll see that big buy volume come in because the market's going to feel like we set these new lows and now we can move higher. And is that what we're seeing here? Is that what I'm getting? Is that what you're seeing? Note these volume bars here. They're clearly our highest since April. Remember, April, these were bullish ones until we actually kind of topped off here. But boy, this is a lot of volume and this is a lot of dumping of a lot of coin over the past week. And as Bitcoin has fallen, it's taking, pretty much the entire alt market away with it. There we go. And intraday here, this is the daily candle here. I mean, just a rough, bad looking candle. Yesterday's candle, a little debate. Was this a bottom hammer? Was this just a shooting star? Total shooting star. Just brutal. It looked good. The wick, you can just see that sell off, and that was it. That's as far as we were able to get. Daily, never even able to touch our exponential moving averages. We had to go to lower time frame, maybe our 6 hour. 6 hour, we were able to touch and break through intra candle. Our EMA 12, which was our first indicator, but not able to close above, and then just swooping down here. Look at this volume. This is the last little push there that brought us down these last couple $100 here. Remember earlier in the week we hit 51.80. And we bounced from 51.80 to 56. We basically had a $400 move. And then from 56, we've come back down to 5K. We had a $600 move. So these are the volatile moves in Bitcoin that we have not seen since either our tether pump, our pre-tether dump, or the thing that really kind of capped this whole thing off was our last rejection here at 7,300, which was our September highs there, which kind of started this channel that resisted us here, resisted us in our tether pump, resisted us here on November 7th, but also supported us when we found support in early September there on the bear break. And it also supported us here a couple days ago when we found support at $5,200. But right now, you can clearly see it's not supporting us now. And now this line becomes a resistance line, okay? Now I'm watching to see the 6 hour, but really it's the daily candle. It's really this daily candle here. Maybe we can come up and close back above this. This is at 51.30, let's just say. Can we get some buying pressure to pull above here? Because if we close below, then it's definitely confirmed resistance line once again, a new one once again. Because of our break, look at our other indicators here. Now, there's a lot of talk about how a bear break of this magnitude and a bearish market of this magnitude makes our RSI indicators that much less important and less reliable. And that's valid. We have historic lows in our RSI here. We're down to 14.13 on the daily. Remember, this year, nothing like this. We were bouncing at 27, 27, 25. 26, most recently right around 30. These were all our bounce areas, right? And boy, did we blow through that. We had a little pull up to 22. Now we put in a lower low on our RSI and a lower low on our price. I mean, for me personally, before I begin to look at any other areas of a trend change or a turnaround, we want to wait till at least we see some sense of a higher RSI, even if we're getting a lower price at that point. So we're double bearish here, and this is historical. I know I'm on Coinbase. I only go back to 2015 here, but this is the lowest Coinbase one. I'm sure I think Bitstamp had some lower ones back in 2014 there. Chalk and Money Flow, complete reversal, unable to hold their zero line back down here. To our lows we had earlier in the month and at the end of October there, which basically got us to this area, which brought us here to begin with. This has been playing out for the past couple months, and then boom, it finally happens, and boy, does it happen. Our stochastic here, not quite pancake, but still just down here. Again, I remember this one here. This is when we climbed up very slowly in August here, very slowly. We might do something very similar here with a very slow climb back. Because listen, if we're going to be looking for that bounce, okay, we need to have that V bottom, and I don't think we've had it yet. Look at our OBV just tanking here. Lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. We even broke through our lower low line. We came back to back test it right here, and we got rejected. Ouch. Look on our OBV and actually take a look at where our next line, or next area at least, of historic OBV chop and support. And we're getting a little closer to that area, aren't we? And this area corresponds with Bitcoin's price action in the 4,000s that we had back here. Let's pull that up a little bit right here. Or was that it? Oh, I see. Actually, that was before that. It was more when Bitcoin was lower. Here. Oh, interesting. This was actually when Bitcoin was breaking through 1,000. That's interesting. That's interesting. So we actually have a higher OBV. No, we have a higher price with a much lower OBV based on that. Wow, that's actually much more bearish than I thought, because that basically means that this is much higher than it should be based on the current price of Bitcoin. Yikes. I keep watching the volume here because to get that reversal, that turnaround, that V bottom there we need to see some sort of capitulation. Now, listen, we just started the weekly candle, okay? We just started it. Let me zoom out and then let me zoom back in here. And listen, we just started this week here, okay? Now, we've seen bullish candles, okay? And we've seen bearish candles. We know roughly how big they are. Okay, this is day one. This isn't even day yet. This is still like, we've only been 12, like this is only halfway through the first day of this entire week here. So we have 6 more days left in this candle here. And we've already almost equaled the bearishness of entire last week here. Now this can also become a bottom wick here. So we got to keep an eye on that and kind of keep a broader perspective here. But we've seen weeks where we have a very big pullback. Remember, this was epic here, 10 to 12 to 8, it's a $4,000. We could still even pull back a $400, and that'd still be pretty big because that would put us into much lower areas. And then we start talking about where we had previously held support in the past. Now we see here, August 21st, our top off on our weekly 49.80. So we broke through that already. We hit 49.50. So we've already broken through from a dollar standpoint this top off. But remember, these two candles here, look where they actually closed, $4,600 there. We also see where this candle closed, 45.80. Let's call it 46 even. So $4,600 on the weekly was basically tested as resistance, resistance, and then broke through, and therefore that's our next line, really around $4,600 area, give or take, let's say $150, where that next actual historic dollar amount area is. Now let me pull up my VPVR. And I've talked about this many times, our windows, okay, our windows and our price action. And we note here that our window right here actually ends at around $4,500. So again, this all coincides with this area here, corresponding with this larger area of price flow, which is after this window here that can take us down to $4,500 before we actually find some decent, longer term historic support where maybe the market might feel, oh, maybe this is actually a value area based on how bearish we've been. Remember, this is the weekly. 2 weeks ago, guys, we were at 6,300. Now we're sub 5,300. So we dropped $1,300, in the past 6 days. Okay. And that's a lot, but historically speaking, we've had much more volatile moves, and we have to keep these areas in blind. Now, if we were able to drop intra-week down to those $4,500 area, $4,600 areas, now we're talking about a greater chance that this area will actually find some more stability in the price of Bitcoin to chop. And what we would see by that, let me have a sip of my Dunkin's here. What we would see by that is a kind of like a death throw where you're seeing this volatility in this price area, a lot of bouncing, and a lot of big wicks. We basically would need to bounce from 4,500 up to about 5K again with a nice, and then kind of pull back from that and allow that area to chug along. The break of 5K, people talk about it as a psychological support area, or whatever. I mean, a little bit. But listen, we see the price when it blew through here. Didn't really care about it. We saw where it got rejected here. I did care about it. The fact that we've already broken it, excuse me, and not have, had that big bounce, that frankly I feel we would need to confirm that this is the area that would find that bottom is not confirmed yet. I want to go to a higher time frame again. I want to go to my monthly. I want to pull up my Bollingers, and we'll do a Bollinger analysis here in just a moment. So listen, our middle BB rejected. Okay, we were watching that with Litecoin. It did something very similar, remember? Now, where was Litecoin able to find that initial support? That was around $47 after breaking the middle BB, unable to hold it. And then it bounced around from 47. Oh, I'm in log. There we go. And had a nice bounce to 56, right? And then back down to 45. And then 40. And now it's at $36, $37-ish, right? Corresponding with just the bear break in Bitcoin. Has Litecoin shown the way? Is Bitcoin roughly around 5,000 a similarity to, Litecoin having that bear break and continuation? Our EMA 26 again failed to hold support at 5,500. Now it's resistance. And our lower BB is at $500 and rising quicker now. It's going to be rising a lot quicker now because we get past these candles here. Will actually allow this to quicken up, and our upper one, will actually fall quicker as well. And bring these together because they are still on the monthly way spread apart, comparatively speaking. Now remember, we're watching our volume profile for the month. We still have about a third of the month to go. Probably a good chance we're going to put in a higher volume candle than we did in October. And remember, we can put in a better wick here, but that's the key. We got to look at this wick chance, and maybe we have to go a little bit lower to put in a better looking wick here. And then there's an argument to say that maybe this isn't the month where we actually bottom. Remember, maybe we actually take this bearishness, into December, which is a distinct possibility because of what's happening here. Now look at our lower BB. Okay, we were able to get back into it. Now we're right back out of it again. There it is, and we're basically way through it. We got to get back above 5,200 to close in it. And we're spreading out our Bollingers. We're spreading out our EMAs. This is moving everything wide here. Now, oversold conditions are producing these little bounces. A couple $100 here, couple $100 here. You almost need to immediately put your sell orders in when you've executed a trade, because these things happen quickly. You don't want to miss your sell target where you unable to, scale out of your trade or do your quick flip because you didn't realize how quickly it could move. We had a 49.50 to 51. We had, almost a $200 move here that's given back pretty much most of it. But that, it's a quick flip that happened very quickly. But we see here, we do see these little fake outs here where we get this, and then we get to keep hitting exponential resistance. So right now, until we can get up on the 15-minute here, I mean, this is short term, but our middle BB, our EMA 26, is holding exponential resistance down. Our Bollingers are just not that out of the realm, too crazy here. Our hourly, hourlies are pretty wide. We're just riding this sucker down. We're just riding it down. Keep note of our middle BB, because any bounce would actually use that as, I believe, our first resistance. And remember, I'd go hourly. I go 4 hour. Where's our 4 hour? 54. That'd be a big bounce. Look at our 4 hour. Now I know we're bleeding through a bunch of our TDs. So our 4 hour, we're at a 5. So we're about mid cycle. Our 6, we just started a 3. Our 12, we're in a red 2, and I know our daily's got to be still bleeding out, right? 9, 1, 2, 3. Oh, we're in the ether land. So we're, no pun intended, we're in the no count because we haven't established a new green yet. So we're still in the red here, and yikes. So we're just bleeding out here, and we're bleeding out. Remember, 1, 2, 3. Normally, this is a 1 to 4 candle situation here, especially on a high time frame like the daily. I know our weeklies, we're still at a lower time frame there. Which reminds me, I wanted to bring up our 3-day. I put charts out about the 3-day as well. And listen, we saw this move happen in slow motion in our higher time frame. People were like, yeah, we were sideways for quite a while here, right, in our price action, and it was hard to kind of tell if there was actual patterns being developed. But there were, and our MA200 on a 3-day chart broke through, came back up, unable to hold support here. Resistance, tried one more time, shooting star. And we had several days notice that this shooting star, EMA 26 resistance, and again, MA200 can't get above it. This was just coming. This was just coming. And this keeps playing into our 2014 fractal, which, is something I will continue to bring up more because, listen, it's playing out. It really is playing out. Go back to Bitstamp here. Right here, very similar pattern here. MA200, 3-day chart, broke through, slingshot back up, close above, came back down. Let's do this. Come on, where's doesn't work. Because the comparison is apt now, and it's apt because the similarities just can't be ignored. MA200 breakthrough, slingshot back up. MA200 breakthrough, slingshot back up. Stay up here for a little bit. Stay up here for a little bit. Break bearish again. Break bearish again. Try and get back through it. This actually got rejected on the EMA 55. This one couldn't even get up there, which would have been a test of 6800 again. Didn't even get up there. Didn't even get through intra 3-day candle, the MA200, right? Like here. And then what happened? There was the bear break, blah, and then boom, the big capitulation. And listen, this was it. This move here became the low, okay? And it fell from, remember, 2014, it fell from, 360, 350, right? To 150. It fell another 50% from pretty much this bear break area. Let's just call it 6K, which could put Bitcoin at 3K. It could put Bitcoin at 3K based on a similar scenario here if this was actually going to continue to play out. Remember, this is a fractal, so the time horizon's not necessarily the same. This took basically November, December, and a bottom mid-January. But is this our December? Keep kind of unwinding lower into the fours, maybe into the threes, until we get this just big red candle on incredible high volume that gets so oversold and creates our V bottom that we want to see. And then remember, even after it did that, even after it bottomed, had a nice bounce, right? We stayed in this pattern, this range between 150 and a little over $300 for a year. Right? More than that. There we go. Almost a year. So is this our 2019 where we find a bottom, have a couple nice bounces, but are stuck somewhere between 3K and 4K through most of 2019? Is that possible? And if that's the case, what happens to altcoins at that moment? How much more money is going to be pulled out of the market then? Since I have my split screen up, Bitcoin longs are still strong, aren't they? Yeah, look at that. They're still strong. And then Bitcoin shorts. Shorts are strong today, aren't they? Look at that. But longs continue to be strong. Let me go to my 1 day here just to get a sense of our daily delight. There we go. Look at that. Longs breaking through the bull channel. Look at that. It was like here. Bollinger's. Outside of the Bollinger Upper BB, still has room to climb. It's just crazy that longs continue to rise through this, hitting the EMA 200. Sorry, MA 200 on the daily. Look at here. Oh, interesting. Look at here. Look at the last time our longs tapped out. MA 200. Longs tap out. MA 200. Look at our shorts here, also getting to the MA 200. Look at the last time the shorts tapped out. A couple days ago, right? Now we're retesting it here. Interesting. I mean, longs, they bought into this. They're buying into this blood. They've been doing this over the past $1,000 of negative Bitcoin price action. And shorts are starting to continue to load through this after being really low and kind of oversold for a while. And you see how far away that they are from our all-time high zone as well. Quick shout out to the 148 of my closest friends today joining me in the chat room. Pedro, Torres, Duck Goose, Just Me, Massimo, B7 Oaks. Hello, Jeanette Crypto. Carl V, what's up, buddy? Cryptomelet, Joshua Neer, Sayal Perez, Tariq Mohammed, Cyber Alchemia, what's up? Muhammad Cannon, King Zulu, MWM48, Anthony Fared, Cornhodo, Sunit Not 9 Venture, Greg Mueller. What else we got here? Yellowbox 2018, Keith Crow. Gandalf Earth. Philip Evans. RJ. Swedish Trucking. Rango Bruzy. Hello Robin. Duck Goose. Dominus Spinay. Steve Lumakis. Kat Damala. Rick Taglenti. Frenkie. Cannon Man. Carlos Royos. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining me today. Whoa. All right, let's go back to Bitcoin's chart. Still holding 5K, barely. Let's go to our short-term time frame here. Let's go to the 5-minute. Just take a look at our volume candles here and see what we got going on. Not a lot of volume coming in, just barely holding that 5K. Remember on the 5-minute chart, this was decent volume here that brought us down here. Nice wick here as well. Still resisting off of our EMA 55. While we're having this bearishness, what's holding up? Yikes. Doggy coin, right? We all know it as our safe haven coin, right? Where are we going here? Look at that, flirting around that 786 per fib retrace. But clearly not crashing as Bitcoin has over the past several days here. As well as Ripple continuing to rip. Look at that. Intraday, we have broken through our wick area. This is quite notable with nice volume as well. Continues. What's our OBV like? Wow, real strong OBV as well. RSI on the daily, 77. Higher high, higher high. Talking money flow. Wow, really up there. All-time high. We're getting tired here. Are we just really topping off here? 21. Keep an eye on this. This looks like a diagonal here. Right? Looks like we could be putting in some sort of a fifth wave diagonal here. Oops. So that's what I'll be watching right now. Go a little higher, go to the hourly. Auto. Yeah, watch these wicks here, the last 3 hours here. The volume's nice. RSI. I mean, again, we're just, once again, we're getting this area here where you end it. Double top on our hourly Stoke. This has a little more wiggle, I think. Just a little more wiggle. Right there. But even on our 15-minute, we're so above we're fanning here. We're so above our EMA 12. Look at our volume profile starting to decline. Interesting here. So this is the thing. You break through it, right? You break through. And that turns out to be the top in many circumstances. The higher high with the big pullback here. So keep an eye on that a little bit there, and this wick here on the 6 hour, which 7 closes right now. Actually, this candle closes 6. Yeah, this candle closes now. This is our about to set in our. This is our 6 hour, and yeah, definitely looks like some consolidation is due on Ripple. But hey, man, this thing has been cranking while Bitcoin's been stanking. Looking at. Oh yeah, and then the Ripple USD, just to bring this up really fast, has a completely different chart looking to it, doesn't it? It's a completely different profile. So we see that bullish divergence in Ripple with just still kind of this kind of area that's just holding here, this triangle that's being created here in the USD valuation. And listen, where does it really count? It counts in the USD valuation. So Ripple's not tanking from a USD valuation, only down 3%, while Bitcoin's down 9%. And that's the divergence that we're seeing. But is Ripple more valuable right now relative to Bitcoin? A little bit, but relative to the actual dollar amount, not really at all. It's just holding up. It's just more of a safe haven. But is any actual value in it being created? Only if Bitcoin can rise and Ripple can hold and build on that. That's the only way it actually becomes a differential, and that's important to keep an eye on. Broader market. Just I'll bring this up real quick here. SPY, uh, SPX, Facebook. Our FANG stocks are just getting annihilated here. Some for specific reasons, some for not. Nvidia. Okay, this was our big mining chip maker. All those video drives. The simple guy isn't mining Bitcoin as much as they used to. And once these drives come out here, these cards, these uh, graphics cards become obsolete very quickly in this market, and you're just seeing this thing just fall off a cliff. And how many advisors still have this thing a buy here at 280? Now this thing's at 150. No one wants to touch it. Amazing. And this is Bitcoin. This is crypto. This is the after effect. Money coming out of crypto is coming out of the actual markets that made a lot of money. Remember, it wasn't the gold miners that made the money in the gold rush. It was all those people that sold in the shovels and the pickaxes, the Nvidias of the world, the chip makers of the world. Whew, big move today in Bitcoin. Let's look at our cryptocurrency market cap. Let's refresh here. Hide up these apps. Wow, we just blew through 167. We've lost $40 billion. 40 with a B, $billion. $40 billion we lost in Bitcoin in the past, in crypto in the past 2 weeks. Our 24-hour volume is high because we're losing that. BTC dominance is still holding 52.9%. That's interesting. I would have actually thought that would rise more as more alts are capitulating. Bitcoin volume 6 billion. This is a bearish 6 billion still. Market cap still under 100 billion, which could now act as resistance. Right? Market cap 88 billion. Remember, we were at 90. We just dropped another 10 billion. Wow, that fell quickly. We were at $110 billion market cap 5 days ago. Now we're at 88. We lost $22 billion in value in just Bitcoin alone. That's amazing. Oh, that's why. What else to look at? Let's go back to Bitcoin. What do we got here? I'm on I don't want to be on Phoenix. Let's go to XBT. Stamp. Coinbase. I used to take a lot of crap for charting in Coinbase, and now it's quite accurate because it's USD. And the volume at this point, it's the volume profile is important, but the actual volume, there's so much of it has come out of Bitcoin here. All right, so look at, we just started our first 6-hour candle. This is our last one of the day here. Okay, we closed out this one here. Very nasty. How much of a? This isn't a wick. This is like a $50, $70 wick here. So I don't see this as a reversal, more as just a stabilizer. Remember, we broke this line here. Let me just get it really tight right there. This was an important support line. Now it's a resistance, which could bring us back to $5,100-ish, potentially, to test that. So, all right, guys. So listen, thanks for joining me in the chat room. How long do we want to hear? 35 minutes? Yeah, that's a good show. Listen, my overall thesis right now is no, Bitcoin has not found a bottom. This will take some time. We could be mired in this market for weeks, if not months. Things I'd be looking for is a capitulation candle. I don't think we're ready for that yet, just because of how low a lot of our indicators are. And any kind of oversold bounces are just that. They're oversold bounces that will continue to get sold into. How many people thought this was the bottom? This was that bounce. It found support for historic reasons. How many people bought into this candle here we had yesterday that topped off at 5,600? Now we're another $600 lower that quickly. Lower lows. This wasn't a double bottom or a truncated reset there. This is our lower lows moment right here. And on the 15-minute, this candle's interesting, okay? Because this is a fight here, right? This is a bull-bear fight right here. But was this just the shock of breaking 5K for the first time? And this is not capitulation volume by any means yet. It's bear volume, notable. And we see that when we go to the daily. But we got to keep this in historic terms and keep the broader picture. This is just kind of starting this bearishness. These candles are brutal, but your time to go. And I look to higher time frames. I look to our weekly RSI at 36. We've been lower. I know on the bit stamp we've been a lot lower. Where's my bit stamp? Down here. 21, 27, 36. So we're going to watch that. Look at that. Look at that. Not yet. Not yet. Got to get down to like 34 or something. Keep an eye on that as well. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this content, please give me a thumbs up on YouTube. I appreciate your support. I will continue to be joining you on Twitter with my thoughts and ideas, as well as putting out videos on YouTube and premium content on Bitcoin Live. And I'll talk about that more in the future. I'm looking forward to that and some other exciting events and news I look forward to sharing with you in the not too distant future. Until next time, which I believe will not be a very long time from now, stay safe out there. Keep an eye on the Bitcoin for me and for you. Be smart in your trades. I feel this is just getting going. Next time, peace out. Big Chonis. Talk to you soon.